you are going for this worker classification, you have to see the check the what kind of minimum wage have you have to pay. You have to check your minimum wage department for a particular state. Clear? So particularly we pay to our workers, right? Below that we cannot pay. When it comes
Okay.
to the worker classification, worker
Hmm.
after that, let's come to the salary part. Salary, if you see by the definition, it's the money received under the employer-employee relationship that is called the salary. And salaries, which means pertaining to salt, and the word has came from Latin word that is salarium, and that is the money given to the Roman soldiers to buy your salt. That is the salary, right?
Hmm.
Salary is divided into many parts, like your basic salary and allowances. Basic is the base of the salary, and it is about the minimum wage, greater than equal to minimum wage. And allowances are your
Basic salary is core of salary.
that can be DNS taxable, partial taxable, and non-taxable, fully taxable. So you have to see which kind of allowances are taxable and which saves your tax. So accordingly, you have to pay that into the including into your salary slip so that employee can get your tax. Yeah. So there are
Sir,
certain yeah.
sir, please, previous slide. So, third point is allowances can be fully taxable, partly, or non-taxable. So, I'm confused with these three terms: fully, partly, or non-taxable for allowances.
Actually, when we come to the taxable part, I will show you the how to calculate the tax. There's a full class of the tax. There are certain kind of allowances like your LTA is taxable for 2 years, and for 2 years it is non-taxable. HR is non-taxable. So lunch allowances, the taxable, conveyance allowances, the taxable. So that depends how much partial taxable. Partial is can be some part of that is taxable, some part
Hmm.
of that is you have to pay the tax. Like your uh, children education loan is 200 rupees per month for two children. That above that it is taxable. It's a partial taxable, or it's a partial non-taxable. So this is how we will calculate. I'll show you how to calculate that. So there are
Okay.
different type of salaries. The first of kind of the salary is the gross salary. Gross salary is the amount of salary paid after deducting your benefits and allowances before deducting the any tax. Gross salary is the basic salary plus allowances. That is the gross salary. And you
Okay.
have your net salary. Net salary is what is left in your salary after deduction has been made, like your gross minor deduction. Deductions can be your leaves, PFSI reductions from employee, and the taxes. And then it comes to the take-home salary. It's actually the net salary unless there has been a personal reduction like loan, bond repayment. That is the take-home. Takes-home salary or net salary. These are the same terminologies. Clear?
Uh, Gross salary is before deducting any tax now.
Right. It's basic plus the allowances.
Hmm. But in net salary,
Without any deductions. Without any deduction. Yeah.
we studied for gross salary
Hmm.
before deducting any tax. But in net salary, gross minus deduction. Why we are taking here deduction again minus with gross? Gross is already before deducting, na?
Here it is net salary. You're confusing. It's a gross, it's take home. So before deducting any tax, it is not after adding. It's adding all. Please see, it's amount of salary
Hmm.
paid after adding all the benefits and allowances and before deducting. It is not deducting anything. Before deducting, it not deducting anything. It's basic salary
Hmm.
plus allowances. You just see this formula. Basic salary plus allowances. Clear?
Hmm.
Net salary is the gross minor deductions. This is the formula for the net salary. Then you have the take home salary. Take home is usually the net salary unless there is some personal deduction like loan, bond repayments, etc. That is the net salary. Yeah.
Hmm. Fine, sir.
Then is the cost to company. Cost to company is all the costs associated with the employment contract. A major part of the CTC comprise of the compulsory deductions. These include reduction for the provident fund, medical insurance. The cost to company includes your gross salary plus your benefits. Clear? Just
Clear, sir.
like suppose benefits may be your incentives, employer PF, ESI deduct, contribution, bonus, food, movie vouchers. Suppose
Hmm.
I'm giving a salary of 10,000 to a particular employee, and 2,000 of it is the petrol expense. 1,000 is the
Hmm.
mobile expense. Suppose I'm giving, so 3,000 I'm giving him, include mobile plus food vouchers, 1,000. So it means my 3,000 are the expenses. So
Hmm.
3,000 plus 10,000 will make the cost to company.
Hmm.
Actual cost is bearing by the company. That is the cost to company. Clear?
Okay. Hmm. So,
These are the certain kind of benefits, the cost to company components like basic salary, DNS allowance, incentives, travel allowance, HRA, medical reimbursement, hostel allowance, education allowance, leave travel concession, vehicle allowance. Just wait.
okay, sir.
So can you make out the difference of the salary slip, pay slip, wage slip,
Salary slip.
pay slip, wage slip,
Third one is base slip.
wage,
Wage slip.
yeah, wage slip.
Salary wage. Uh, so normally I heard that like in banking sector or you can say the unskilled. For unskilled, we use wage slip like for labor.
Hmm.
Actually, we all are labor. You have defined in first class. I have joined.
Hmm.
But yes, for unskilled, we can say for wage slip.
Hmm.
And highly skilled and semi skilled, we can consider salary or pay slip. I think both are the same terms.
Actually, there is no such different wage slip. People usually card for the wage. Wage is basically for the labor class. It is not the same. It is not the same. Clear?
Okay. Hmm.
So basically, pay slip, salary slip, and wage slip. The paycheck is the document record issued by the employer to the employee, which shows how much money an employee has earned and how much tax has been and deducted.
Yeah.
That is pay slip. So right, it's a employer proof. It's employer
Yes.
proof.
Hmm.
So you are giving to the employee as that is the pay slip. This is the pay slip. Salary slip. This is
Yes.
actually shown on your screen. This one is the pay slip. This one is the pay.
Hmm.
Salary sheet is the employer record. It is consolidated of all the employees. It's a confidential. That is the salary sheet. Clear?
Employer record. Salary sheet.
Yeah.
Fine, sir.
Right. Salary sheet. It is just like that. It contains all the information
Hmm.
of the employees. So it is the full-fledged. It has all the information, their salary. All the employees are in one sheet. Clear?
Okay. Yes, sir.
It remains with the employer.
Hmm.
Let's come to the form number 16. It's a proof of employee income and tax paid to the government. Form number 16 is a proof of employees income and tax paid to the government. And it's used under the section 203 of the Income Tax Act. And salary did after deducting the tax by the employer, this process is called tax deduction at source, TDS. Clear?
Text deduction at source. Okay.
Tax deducted at source.
So,
So
in form number 16, tax deduction, TDS is mentioned there. Salary
I
after
tell
deducting.
I tell you in simple terms,
Hmm.
yeah, it's the duty of the employer to deduct the tax from the employee
Hmm.
salary and pay to the government. Yeah.
Hmm.
But in lieu of that, you will give some proof. Just wait.
Okay.
So, form number 16 is a proof. Suppose I have deducted your tax,
Hmm.
and in that lieu, you ask me what is the proof? I am giving you the form number 16 for that.
Hmm.
That is the proof. Clear?
So, sir, form number 16 is to
Issued
be
by the employer.
submitted by employer.
Right. It's issued by the employer.
Okay. So, can this form number 16 be asked from employee?
No, no, employee asks from the employer. It issued by the employer.
No. Can employee ask for this form? Can
Yes.
employee can
Yes.
employee see this form?
Yes. Yes. Employee can ask for the form
Okay.
number 16 from employer. It's issued once a year, and it is usually taken at the time of the loan, and bank asks it
Hmm.
that you have to submit. It is a proof of your salary, authenticated
Hmm.
proof. Okay?
So, this is compulsory. This form is compulsory for every employer, sir?
For taxable, it is compulsory.
Taxable. Okay.
Statutory compliance. There are such certain kind of definitions, and the definition of the statutory compliance. Statutory is the law or the rule.
No. Hmm.
Statutory means law, a rule,
Hmm.
and compliance means to follow it.
Hmm.
So statutory compliance means the maintenance of records and register is called the statutory compliance. Clear? Statutory compliance is to follow the rule.
Hmm.
How would I know that you're following the rule? You will maintain the registers and records. That is the statutory
Hmm.
compliance. You have to maintain at least for 3 years. 3 years is compulsory.
To maintain for every employee.
Why?
Hmm. Okay.
This is the minimum wage act. According to the minimum wage act says that to provide for fixing the minimum rate of wages in certain employments. Clear? And
Hmm.
fixation of minimum wage rate is the to like it depends on a team time work, piece of work, and piece work for the purpose of securing such employees and overtime work. That is the you got it. Time work is the 1 day work, 30 days work, piece of work. You're making one table, you will be paid according to the minimum wages to provide the minimum fixation of wages. So
Hmm.
you have to pay minimum wage. It is the state government who decides that minimum wages. So minimum wage rate act is like variable DA, value of other concession, and fixing of normal working hours. It shall constitute a normal working day, inclusive of the one or more specified interval, and to provide a day for the rest in every period for the 7 days. So 1 day is required as a rest in seven
Hmm.
days, and to provide a payment for the work for the day for the rest also. You have to provide the day rest payment for the rest, and overtime to be fixed by the hour, by the day, such as the longer wage period. Well,
Hmm.
it is the two twice. It's a double the rate, but in agriculture it is one and a half time of the agriculture labor.
Hmm.
It's a double the rate in excess of the overtime. Overtime means working beyond 8 hours, and
Hmm.
wages worker who has a less than normal working hours, such as the otherwise, but they are entitled to receive wages in respect of the work done by him. Accordingly, if you work for 2 hours, 3 hours, accordingly the work you pay. And payment of
Hmm.
minimum wage employer to pay every employee acted in scheduled employment not less than minimum wage. And composition of committee, like representation of the employer, employee in a schedule, employer in equal number of independent person, not exceeding the one third of its total number, such as appointed by the chairman. So you can represent. So let's come to the more important part, that is the maintenance of record. This is the statutory compliance. You
Hmm.
have to you have to maintain these registers, like register of fines, register of overtime, register of returns, payslip, wages, muster roll. Muster roll is contain your all your information, like your date of birth, your working, number of hours, overtime, salary, days worked. That is the muster roll, and it
That's
has
true.
to be registered for 3 years. So
Oh.
there can be a claims by the employee that can be filed before the authority, and
Hmm.
compensation can be up to 10 times. So wages in for two classes where the employee does work for each class, each difference. So minimum rate, time rate for wages for piecework, it is not less than as fixed. There are certain kind of penalties. Now, these are the penalty for paying less. You have to pay imprisonment up to 6 months and fine up to 500 rupees. And for contravention of mention of any provision, then you have to imprisonment up to 6 months and fine up to 500 rupees. That
Hmm.
is there in the Minimum Wage Act.
Okay.
Let's come to the CTC. Uh, CTC is your cost to company. Clear?
Hmm.
Cost to company means cost which the company is willing to pay as a part from the employee in return for the services rendered by him. So CTC is
Hmm.
broken into various components,
Company.
basic,
Hmm.
medical. So why there is a need for breakup? Why you are not paying the entire lump sum? Well, this is your gross salary, take it. Why you are breaking up into the basic plus allowances? Because to fulfill certain requirements for the Indian
Hmm.
labor law, the tax fulfillment. You save your tax and you
Hmm.
fulfill the Indian labor law like the PF, ESI, and other statutories. How CTCs are fixed? These are based on an industry standards, based on the position scale set within your industry and taking into the consideration of the HR policies of that company. That's how
Hmm.
it is, right? And CTC structure can be basic, can be for all usually 40 to 50% of the gross plus DA, and HRA can be 30 to 40%. Normally it's 40% and 50% in the metro cities, and traveling allowance can be 1600, medical reimbursement 1250, education allowance 100 per child, and education hostel allowance is 300 per child. A special allowance can be done, then it is the balancing figure and proper provident fund, ASI, gratuity, and bonus. These can be considered in this CTC. So let's come, I think LTA, leave policy and LTA you did, na? Last
Leave policy done.
LTA we done, na? Yes,
Hmm. But I want to do again, sir.
hmm?
I want to do that again, sir.
Leave policy.
Yes, sir.
LTA will do, we can, LTA is the leave travel allowance. When you cover the allowances, it is the, you pay amount through, it is the leave and travel. You have to take your leave, then you have to travel to
Hmm.
take the, means you are traveling, you are taking the leave with your family.
Hmm.
Your family can be, you can take family along with you, and they must be dependent on you. And in that leave, company will offer you the some amount of money that is called as allowance. It can be
Hmm.
10% of different gross. It depends on the organization how much they want to keep. Normally, 10 to 15 they can keep of your salary. So in once in a year you will get it. But when you calculate it, you need to when you are going, you need to submit your original proofs or your bills to the organization to avail the reimbursement. So and the reimbursement will be made for your shortest route. Suppose I'm going from here to Bangalore, from
Hmm.
Chandigarh to, and the shortest route and second route I may go to Kolkata, then again to Bangalore. So my company will pay me directly from here from Chandigarh to Bangalore. That will be the shortest route.
Hmm.
For airfare, it can be economy class, and for your train it is the first class, and for taxi that has to be very you're gonna avail the taxi that has to be registered. So you can submit your bills. Suppose you're taking your family with you, and that is dependent. Suppose your wife is also or your husband is also working in some other organization, but he is also claiming the LD in their respective organization. They cannot claim from both of the organization. They have to claim at one place. But the wife will claim from her own office. Husband will claim from their own employer. They cannot.
Okay.
It cannot happen. Wife is also claiming from her husband office
Mm,
and from her own office. Right. This is not the way.
mm,
So LTA can be your 2 years taxable and 2 year non-taxable, which we are discussing. So that's can be discussed with the charter accountant, that which 2 years can be taxable. There is you can, and this is about your LTA. Now let's come to the leave policy. Leave policy is the earned leave. Earned leave, casual leave, sick leave, maternity, paternal, national holidays, quarantine, extraordinaries, study leave, leaves without due, and leaves for general by-election and invited leaves. Earned leave
mm,
are those leaves that are known as privileged leave, and these are earned by the employees when they serve the organization. That is the earned leave. And earned during the year can be availed during the same subsequent year, and you must have at least 240 days in a calendar year that become eligible for earned leave, which
mm,
can he can enjoy in the subsequent year. Eligible for day leave for every 20 days worked in a previous year, that becomes the earned leave. You got it? What is earned leave? Earned leave,
mm,
you have to work, you have to earn. That is the earned leave.
mm,
Casual leave is generally understood as the leave that is not earned while on duty. Prior intimation is needed to be employer. A leave can be treated as a casual leave if only it has been sanctioned, granted by the employer. A maximum of 15 days of a calendar year, that can be a casual leave. Clear?
yes, sir.
Sick leave is that in which the employee can avail the sickness in case of sickness of self, and sick leaves are accumulated in a year and can be carried forward and availed in the next year. The medical
Mm,
leave are for the maximum period of 15 days in a year. So maternity leave up to 6 months. For sick leave, you have to take your medical certificate from the doctor that you need a leave. And when you join the organization, then you need to take your medical fitness from the doctor when you will be joining the office. Maternity leave, it is for the 6 months as a
mm,
take care of the child. It can be before the pregnancy, delivery, and can be you can avail full after the delivery. On national festival holidays like the Republic Days, January 26th, Independence Day, 15th, and Gandhi Jayanti. Public and private organization MNCs should necessarily remain closed. So there are
mm,
requirements. This leave is usually granted to the concerned employee by the reason for presence of the infectious disease in the family or the household of the employee. Such disease is considered to be hazardous to the employee health of the other people. So you can give the 30 days leave to the, the particular employee. That is called the
mm,
quarantine. Quarantine is means to abstain from. किसी को दूर
mm,
रखना, that is. There are leaves for the general election, by-election, parliament, and the state assembly. And from here, you can avail the leave. If you have the election, you have the voter card. You can go to their home state and give the cast your vote. And the employer has to give the leave for that particular day. That is the paid leave will be given. There can be no